G'day, how you going? We're looking at interesting, popular, and fascinating posts, maps, and beyond in Australia. First of all, we have Adelaide named Australia's coolest city by Wall Street Journal. Very interesting. What are the chrome balls in the middle? It's kind of cool. It reminds me of Cloudgate, or otherwise known as the Bean in Chicago, right? The big chrome bean. Maybe chrome's the wrong word. It's like a mirror-like finish. And it almost looks invisible because like certain angles, because it reflects like the sky and the buildings. It's pretty cool. I get that same vibe from these. Cool picture because it's got like a cool mood. The colors. Adelaide, the city with the biggest balls, exactly right. So anyway, yeah, pretty cool. I mean, that's an American publication, Wall Street Journal, I think, right? Cool to see Adelaide getting some love. You usually see Melbourne, Sydney, and so forth getting all the attention. And Adelaide named Australia's coolest city. I don't know what metrics they used or how they deciphered that or how they determined that. But you know what? Adelaide, good for you. I've always stuck up for Adelaide. I always thought Adelaide looks like a cool place. And I'd like to go there sometime. A quick bit about Formula One. Great to see two Aussies in the top 10. Odds Danny Rick getting a Red Bull seat next season. I think he might. I think he might. But I think it's funny to point out first, number one, P1 here, Max Verstappen. Wow. What's new, right? Haven't we seen that before? This is from the Mexico Grand Prix. We see the two Aussies in P7 and P8 right next to each other. Kind of cool indeed in the top 10. Good for them. Aussies representing in Formula One. Pretty damn good lately. Just watch this clip. Let's go to the beginning. This guy is so Australian. This is from a World Cup match between Australia and France. And you can see the title. Look at this guy. Read his lips. Jesus, we're on the telly. Oh, I love it. Yeah, Jesus, we're all my wife thinks I'm in London for work. This is the best one. You can hear his accent without hearing his accent. Yeah, you could see, just read his lips. It sounded Aussie. I don't know how. Could take the man out of Australia, but can't take the Australian out of the man. Amen. If this isn't the most Australian post and headline I've ever seen, bloody cockatoo stole my thong. And here's the picture for proof. Look at this thing. Look at this guy. He is indeed up there, perched up there with that look the cockatoos have, right? And he's got the thong. What the hell is he taking this man's thong for? Cockatoos are the juvenile delinquents of Australian native animals. I just can't believe this headline. This is so Aussie. It's not even funny. Can you imagine if I walked into an American bar around here and just said, yeah, bloody cockatoo stole my thong. Think of all the looks, the just ultra confused and concerned looks I would get. Surely a leading contender for most Australian posts this year. I mean, that's what I'm saying. This is just so Aussie right here. It's quintessentially Australian. The cockatoo is looking for a soul mate. Great. That's a good one. Quite possibly the most Australian sentence ever written. I don't know. I've heard of really, really few convincing ones there, over the years through some clips. But this has got to be up there for sure. This is very Aussie. Well, would you look at this Australian aisle at a specialty food store in New York City? New York City's lucky, man. They have so much stuff international there, right? It's so big. Although Chicago's big, I gotta find a specialty food store that has Aussie stuff. That would be so cool because, every supermarket, regular supermarket and grocery store has a very small, international section, but it's mostly European stuff, some UK things, and I don't know, Asian stuff. It doesn't really have Australian stuff. There's a couple stores that have TimTams and these versions, the export versions. Maybe a couple places sell Maltesers and Vegemite, although it's pretty hard to come by. But other than that, nothing. And this place is in the U.S. and they got Shapes, they got Twisties, they got all the famous chocolates and stuff down here. They even have Bundaberg. I mean, let's zoom into this. They got guava, they got lemon lime and bitters, they got diet ginger beer. I can only find Bundaberg ginger beer here, which I do love. But other than that, I can't find anything else. They got multiple flavors. I'm kind of jealous. They also have chicken salt. That's cool. And what kind of shapes we talking? We talking in cheddar. Okay, not bad, not bad. Pizza. I see pizza. I'd grab that. That would be fun. Chicken crimpy. So not a huge selection, but they got some. This is a cool one. Which Aussie state are you from? And what's the best, worst thing about your state? This is Ask an Australian, by the way. First result, WA. So Western Australia, best, incredible nature, especially beaches, warm weather, great people. Yeah, Western Australia is kind of just like, for me, my perspective, the Western U.S. It's got the best scenery, like unbelievable landscapes, vast open vistas and horizons everywhere, right? And WA certainly ticks that box. Like, it just looks unreal. Warm weather, yep. Generally pretty warm climate, so that's cool. Great people, sounds good to me. Worst, so far away from everything. And that's the thing. Especially Western Australia. You guys, if you're in Perth, you're just so far away from, like, most people that you would be talking to in Australia even, right? Like, it's so far away. So I imagine that can be concerning at times. Mining bogans and meth heads. Well, there you go. And the Victoria experience is 4 seasons per day, nice people, bus delays, and train delays. Okay. Tasmania, best, the food. Worst, it's freezing. It's always freezing. If you woke up and found Australia didn't exist anymore, what country do you feel like would take you? Well, we would all be drowning. There you go. That's the most logical answer. Let's see. I know New Zealand wouldn't want a boatload of Aussies, but that's the way I'm heading. Yeah, I expected to see New Zealand the most on here. I feel like we're going to see a lot of that. That just makes sense, I feel like. New Zealand, I knew there would be a reason I kept my NZ citizenship all these years. I'm feeling like already Antarctica looks nice this time of year. That's different. I'm not with you on that one. New Zealand would have no choice. Nigeria, I've already given their prince enough money by now. We must be close enough to give me a citizenship. Oh my God. I hate to inform you. I don't think they're going to let you in still. They're going to need more. That prince, dang, he's always asking for money. NZ or Canada. Yep, Canada is a good choice. I've seen that on here. I expected that. Pretty much that's it, though. I'm not seeing many other. I think I saw like one Japan and then one America, and they just said because their partner's American. So, yeah, interesting. I don't blame you for not answering America a lot because, the U.S. is not for everyone. Let's just put it that way. It's a unique place. It's a wild place. And there's a lot of pros to living here. There's a lot of cons. So I got my citizenship today. How should I celebrate becoming an Australian? Now, that's an interesting one. I'm going to go first. I would celebrate just on, based on data I've learned from you guys and from, everything. Let's see. The most, Australian thing I can do to just kind of get me in the door, right? I mean, I think it's easy. I think I go to Mount Panorama and I hop in like a Holden Maloo, like a ute, a muscular ute. Like, as if there's just a Holden Maloo waiting for me there. Like, I'll take that. But, come on, you got to use your imagination here. I'd hop in one of those, and I'm going to do a burnout, because if I become an Australian, then I automatically, my burnout level, my talent for doing burnouts just goes up tenfold, right? Now I just know how to do the best burnouts in the world. And I think I grab like a Bunnings snag in one hand and a VB, a Victoria Bitter, in the other. And I think I make a shoey out of that, like a weird, crazy super shoey with the snag and the beer. And it's ridiculous, but come on. That would be hella Australian. Doing a burnout while doing a shoey on Mount Panorama. Yeah. If we can make that video happen in real life, then I'll know I've made it in life, right? Chuck a sickie, mate. There you go. Sausage roll and a vanilla slice. Eat in the car on the way home. Congratulations. Yeah, do what you want after that. BB long neck at 8 in the fucking morning. That's Australian. Now, this is interesting. Moving on to maps. Crown land in Australia. I've never actually heard this term. And I believe this is like federal or government land, I'm guessing. And the crown land is what's highlighted in that kind of golden beige color. And the freehold land would be the gray. Now, as you see, there's a lot of crown land. especially in WA. Look at how big Western Australia is. Humongous state. And almost all of it is Crown land. Pretty fascinating. This is going to be good for comments. Like if you want to weigh in on how this works and stuff. Like in the U.S., you would just refer to this as like federal land, government land, BLM land. BLM land meaning Bureau of Land Management. And, it's kind of the same as here, although a little different. Like in Illinois, for example, where I'm from, there's almost no government land. Whereas, other places we've lived, like in New Mexico, that whole state is almost government land. Like, it's astonishing how much of that state is federal land. And honestly, that goes for most of the western U.S. is a lot of federal land. But a lot of the east isn't, Yeah, as for Australia, going to like the eastern side, again, a lot of the inland, like the desert, the outback, is Crown land, and even parts of Tasmania. I didn't even think of the ACT. The Australian Capital Territory is interesting as it's all Crown land. Home ownership in the ACT involves a freehold lease for the period of 99 years. Some lots are already coming up to the 99-year mark where they'll roll on automatically to another 99-year freehold lease. That's interesting. Holy smoke. So you basically don't really own the property and house that you buy there. You're just renting it essentially, right? For 99 years. Is that fair to say? I don't know. This is an interesting one. Like of all the maps I've seen of Australia over the years, I haven't really seen one on this, I don't believe. So this is pretty interesting to me. Pretty cool. And we got to end it on something funny like this. This Australia's rudest town names. Now, we have seen some of these before. There's just so many of them. Thought I'd shout out some of these again for anyone that doesn't know this. Like, no one names towns like Australia. There are some weird town names, I'm sure, everywhere. There's some weird ones in the U.S., but not quite on this level. I mean, have you ever been to Bob's Knob or Hungry Knob? I mean, I haven't, Not yet, at least. Bastard Boar? Butt Street? I mean, imagine, right? Like, imagine actually living in these towns. You got to address stuff. Like, yep, I'm from Butt Street. Curly Dick Road? There you go. Burrum Buttock. Spanker Knob. Windy Saddle. Pensioners Bush. Titwobble Lane. Yes, this is a real place. Intercourse Island. Ooh. Now that's different. That might be a wild place. Bullshit Hill. That's my favorite. Bullshit Hill. If you don't know, there it is right here. Bullshit Hill, just north of Prominent Knob. You can't miss it. I love Australia. It's just crazy. You just never know what you're going to see on the street signs wandering through Australia on a road trip. I mean, but I do hope you enjoyed that video. I love these. These are really fun, and this will be a fun one to look at the comments. That's for damn sure. Throw a like on this video if you enjoyed it and got a laugh out of it. Maybe you learned something. Subscribe to be part of this amazing community we do have. And if you want to join members, we do have memberships on this channel. I will plug this more with a little more in depth because I'm just launching it today. But yeah, you can find some cool emotes and loyalty badges and stuff on there. I think you guys will get a kick out of. It's just really a way to support the channel even further if you're able to do so. Not a big deal if you can't, but I think it's pretty fun. So yeah, look for that, like the join button, and I will have more dedicated to that on what that really entails. But yes, I thought I'd mention it here a little early. So anyway, my name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker, and until next time, guys, have a good one. I'll catch you later.